Welcome to Awakening You channel. If you appreciate what we do, please support us. Thank you. Dear sons and daughters of planet Earth, I am Sananda. Being here is always a reason for great joy, especially in these days when you are experiencing so many energetic influences. Don't be scared by anything, don't be worried about your own reactions. You are not yet 100% enlightened beings, you will still make a lot of mistakes, you will still take wrong actions, decisions, but you must be aware that each one of them will lead to a lesson that you may or may not learn. Apparently the problems increase, some become very heavy and difficult to carry. But for every problem there is an analysis, there is something to be learned. Don't think that the universe is conspiring against you, remember, you are receiving back something that you emanated back there. It doesn't matter when it was emanated and you are receiving it back. It's as if everything your soul has done throughout your entire existence and that has not yet been understood, learned, is coming back, but all at the same time. We can say that throughout the journey of each soul on this planet, the lessons were distributed far ahead, exactly so that they did not overlap one another. You had time, you had future incarnations, so all learning was diluted between the next incarnations. So, see now, like a big wall, and now everything that comes back can no longer be thrown forward, everything comes back today, now. And it's all piling up, several lessons at once. This is what you are going through right now. The important thing in this whole process is to try to look at everything with love, to make sure that you are involved in that problem, because there is something to be learned there. It's not about living the problem, it's not about holding hands with the problem, it's not about suffering because of the problem. The solution is to look at him with love, not with anger, because looking at him with love, I can guarantee that you have already eliminated half of the strength he has, and with that you can easily find your way out. There's no point in despair, there's no point in punching the walls, there's no point in blaming the world, there's no point in frowning. The time is to look at everything head on, whatever it is. Ask the higher self why all this is happening, ask. Perhaps the answer will be so different from what you expect that you will be surprised. You need to be aware of what is happening. Rest assured that there will come a point where there will be nothing left to learn. But this still takes time, because you are reaching that point on the wall, where there are still many problems, a lot to be learned, accumulated over a long time. So yes, one problem after another will appear. But all with the sole purpose of evolution, of learning, of understanding where you need to improve, where you need to change. And when problems hit you, but the focus is actually on someone else, how do you act? You can't just ignore the rest and make decisions on your own. There are decisions that need to be made in groups, explaining better, within the family, in which you cannot simply impose your understanding. In these situations, what are the problems that arise? That for you there is a solution, but for the other there is not. How to act? Imposing your ideas on others, imposing your way of thinking on others? Remember, you are a family, and when there is no balance of ideas, there is conflict. Because no one wants to give in, everyone thinks their point of view is the right one. So neither you give up yours nor the other gives up theirs, and the impasse is formed. How to act? Remembering that lessons are coming for everyone, not just those of you who are awakened, everyone is receiving lessons. The wall is also full of problems for them to solve, and worse, they are not aware of it, you are, they are not. So what attitude is appropriate at this moment? I would say shut up, let it happen, because the lesson belongs to the other person, he will have to go through it and the result may be exactly what you expect. There is no point in trying to impose your idea, your way of thinking, you need to give the other person time so that they understand the problem at hand. And if he doesn't notice, what do? I keep saying, you'll have to wait for him to learn his lesson. Understand, my sons and daughters, life in a community, in a group, is not easy, it is not simple, because each soul has its own customs and habits, brought over a long time, and when they come together in any way, each one always wants to impose what you think is right. But others don't always see that as correct. So, are you going to try to impose? No, you can't, the imposition is an invasion of free will. So you will have to wait a while, until the other person actually learns, sees that the way of thinking is not correct. But of course, everything has a limit, because there are those who will never give up, as you say, will never admit that they were wrong and will continue to put their foot down on their decision. So yes, it will be up to you to make the decision for yourself, leaving him aside, he will not be included in your decision. Understand, you are not imposing, but you are asserting what you always wanted. You gave him time to see, you gave him time to analyze, but he didn't want to analyze, he didn't want to change, out of intransigence or on a whim or out of pride, for whatever reason. Then yes, you will be absolutely right to make your decision, without involving him. Remember that I'm talking about adults here, I'm not involving children in this matter, these are decisions made by adults. So you always have to give time, for the other person to see, learn, analyze. Ah, how long will that be? You will know, because your own soul will be attentive, to the limit where it can wait, because there is a lesson to be learned by the other. So at this moment, you will be part of the other person's lesson, making your decision and leaving the other person aside, no longer accepting childishness or tantrums, whatever the other person has. These are difficult times, my children, when everyone's spirits are high. Those who are not awake do not know how to deal with any of this, so imposition, a unilateral decision, can never come from you. There needs to be time for each other, and I repeat, time. Your soul will know what that time will be, and when it ends, your soul will tell you, it's time to act, and you will act, because you gave the other person enough time to think, analyze, and learn their lesson. Human coexistence is not easy, nor is it simple. In these times, it is even more difficult, because everyone is being moved a lot, everyone is being shaken a lot, to expose exactly these points of view that are not good for the journey. But everything has to have its time, everything has to follow each person's time, it cannot be imposed. So have this awareness, this is called knowing how to give in, for a while. During this time, you will say nothing, do nothing, just observe. And when the end of your time comes, then you will say, I gave you time to learn how to listen, but you didn't want to learn. So I'm making my decision. And the other person will understand that you respected their time, but that now you need to make a decision, and you will make it regardless of their opinion. It's not by fighting, it's not by revolting, it's not by shouting, that you will reach an agreement. Everything has to be done with respect and with love. This moment of seeing those around you, learning their own lessons, is a difficult moment for you, because you already know the answer, you already know the path, but they don't, they are still learning, and in a much more important way. Strong and intense. So look at others around you with love, not anger. It is necessary to respect their time to see that they are wrong, but at that moment it never crosses their mind. Now for all this you need to be inside your heart, so that you look at the whole situation from within your heart, not with your mind. Because if you look at the situation with your mind, you won't give it any time, you will want your decision to prevail, and to hell with the rest, this is the thought of the mind. So think with your heart, not with your mind, and you will see that by acting this way, you will be helping those around you to learn, to respect the opinion of others, to not just look at your own navel, to have affection for the other side. This is the most important lesson. See things this way, have patience and love, that's what is needed at this moment. Anything other than that will not be good. Think a lot about it, and you will definitely be able to find the middle path. You don't want to always make your ideas prevail. Within a family there must be consensus, but there will be a limit. And if you do everything with your heart, you will know this limit for sure.